All right, let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about one of the single biggest challenges facing any leader right now. How on earth do you lead people in the age of AI? Well, it turns out the answer might not be in the tech itself, but in, understanding the human brain. Let's dig into how our own wiring is actually the key to navigating this whole new world.
This quote from the biologist E.O. Wilson, it's incredible. He said this way before the AI boom we're seeing now, and it just perfectly nails the problem we're all feeling, right? We have this unbelievable, godlike power in our hands, but we're running on a mindset that hasn't really changed for thousands of years. And, neuroscientists would say, hold on, it's even deeper than that. It's not just old emotions we're dealing with. We are literally trying to manage these incredible technologies with what is, for all intents and purposes, a Stone Age brain. We're talking about hardware that evolved to help us find food and not get eaten, not to manage complex AI. Look, it's not like we can't adapt. Of course we can. Just think about how we've all gotten pretty good at reading the room on a Zoom call, right? You catch that little nod or when someone leans into the camera. We've found ways to connect. But man, is it hard work. And that's because it's this whole new layer we've built on top of our ancient programming for face-to-face connection. And here's why it's so tough. Our brains, they're not like a computer you can just wipe clean and install new software on. A much better way to think about it is like a Swiss Army knife. You're born with a specific set of tools. Yeah, you can get better at using them, you can sharpen them, but you can't just swap them out for a whole new set. So what kind of tools are we talking about here? Well, you've got your social brain network, which is all about connecting with other people. You've got an innovation network for coming up with new ideas. There's an evidence accumulator that helps you make decisions. You even have an attention volume knob. These are the tools in the box, whether we're dealing with a sharp rock or a super smart AI. Okay, so this is the absolute key, the big idea we're getting at today. Instead of trying to force our Stone Age brains to be something they're not, we've got to build strategies for AI that actually work with our natural wiring, not against it. And we have got to figure this out like yesterday, because the data is already in. A huge 75% of knowledge workers around the globe are already using generative AI at work. I mean, this isn't some sci-fi movie we're talking about for the future. This is what's happening right now, probably in another tab on your computer. The challenge isn't on the horizon, it's here. And leaders have to respond right now. So, okay, how do we actually do this? How do we adapt? Let's break down 3 skills that are pretty much future-proof. Skills that leaders need to be working on. And we'll start with number 1, cognitive flexibility. So what does that actually mean? In plain English, it's about being mentally quick on your feet. It's about being willing to pivot. It means staying on top of what AI can do. And this is the important part, being ready to just toss out the old way of doing things when a better way comes along. Let me show you what this looks like in the real world. Sooner or later, an AI is going to spit out some data or an idea that completely goes against what you thought was true. Now, a rigid leader, they see that and panic. It's a threat. But a leader with cognitive flexibility, they see a massive opportunity to learn something new and get better. All right, let's move on to the second skill because this is where the human stuff really kicks in. As AI starts doing more and more of the analytical heavy lifting, our distinctly human skills become way more valuable. And that brings us to emotional intelligence. Think of emotional intelligence as your main tool for handling the human side of all this change. It's about knowing, really knowing, that your team is probably feeling a little anxious right now about their jobs and all this change. A leader's job is to meet that anxiety with empathy, to build trust, and to make people feel safe. And this is just a perfect picture of the new reality, right? When AI takes over the routine stuff, a leader's real value completely shifts. Your ability to connect with people, to inspire them, to make your team feel heard and valued, that becomes your superpower. That's the stuff AI just can't touch. Okay, this all leads us perfectly into our third and final skill. And honestly, this one might be the engine that powers everything else. It's a deep, genuine sense of curiosity and a real commitment to always be learning. And we're not just talking about being vaguely interested here. This is an active, almost eager chase for what's new. It's the mindset that makes a leader want to play around with a new AI tool to push their team to try it too, and always be trying to see what's coming around the next bend. And look, the connection here is so important. The speed at which AI is moving, it's just mind-blowing. The only way
any team can keep up is to build a culture where learning isn't some special event you do once a year. It has to be a constant, shared habit. That's how you survive and thrive.
So, let's pull all of this together. What's the big takeaway here? It's really about reframing how we think about this tech. AI is not here to replace our Stone Age brains. It's a powerful new tool for that brain. It's like getting a brand new, super-powered attachment for that Swiss Army knife we talked about, one that works with the abilities we already have.
And that really leaves us with one final and I think really important question you've got to ask yourself. As you bring AI into your teams, as you build your strategies, just stop and ask, is your plan built for the technology? Or is it built for the amazing, messy, irreplaceable human brains that are actually using it?